Good morning, Uday and Bhargav. Today is Tuesday, October 31st, and here's the heads-up brief for today. Today's production to our clients consisted of a total of 79 issues. We covered 39 issues in East Asia Pacific, 25 issues in South Asia, and 15 issues in the EMEA region. I will be briefing you on the major issues of today's production.
Hey, Bassel, thank you. Let's discuss the major issues, please.
In East Asia Pacific, I'll be covering the top 2 of the 39 issues. In Australia, members of environmental organizations and activist groups will hold daily demonstrations at the International Convention Centre in Sydney, New South Wales until November the 2nd. The demonstrations are planned to blockade the ongoing International Mining and Resources Conference and Expo. Authorities are likely to increase security measures in the vicinity of the conference in Sydney to preempt any planned blockade or disruption by activist groups. Participation in protests could range between a few dozens to hundreds. We released an APAC advisory on this today.
Okay, yeah, keep following this issue as it is disruptive. And we do have plans in the energy sector, so make sure, see if any specific companies are being targeted and so on.
Sure, Uday. In Myanmar, the Brotherhood Alliance, which launched Operation 1027, is currently fighting over control of Naungyo in Kyoakmi in Shan State. Members of the alliance are also attempting to cut military supply chains along the Lashiu-Mandalay Road. At least 6,200 people have been displaced in Shan State after the alliance launched the operation against the military. The coordinated attacks by the Brotherhood Alliance indicates the resolve by resistance groups to retake territory, especially key financial and economic areas that were lost to the military after February 2021. We covered this as the major development in Southeast Asia today.
Okay, keep a close eye on this. This is very interesting, and it's a major setback for the military government in the country. In fact, there are some indications that China may also be supporting the moves by the ethnic armed organizations, which doesn't bode well for the general sitting in Naypyidaw. So keep a very close eye on this and how this evolves over the coming days. There will be an imminent counterattack or operation by security forces, but whether they can unseat these ethnic armed organizations will remain to be seen as they're stretched out on multiple fronts. Thanks, Bassel.
Sure, they will be monitoring this closely. In South Asia, I'll be covering the top issue of the 25 issues. In Pakistan, nearly 2,000 trucks have been deployed at the Torkham and Spin Boldak Shaman border crossings for Afghan refugees being deported from Pakistan. The Taliban's Ministry of Defense has organized the deployment to streamline the transportation of refugees being deported from Pakistan to their designated destination. So the sudden repatriation of immigrants comes amidst high levels of terrorism and socio-economic instability in the country. The government has considered illegal immigrants, particularly those from Afghanistan, to be a key reason for the spike in terrorist activity and criminality over the past 2 years. We covered this as the major development in South Asia today.
All right, so this is a very sensitive issue in Pakistan and Afghanistan, especially Taliban issuing some of the rhetorical statements against the move to deport the so-called illegal immigrants or refugees from Pakistan. Now, it needs to be observed very carefully when major movement is happening from Pakistan into Afghanistan. So let's keep track of this and update our clients accordingly. We cannot rule out any major attacks by the groups such as IS when such a mass movement happens.
Thank you, Bhargav. Moving over to the EMEA region, I'll be covering the top 3 of the 15 issues. In Germany, a politician from the far-right Alternative for Germany party was arrested in Stuttgart city yesterday. Politician Daniel Halemba was accused of public incitement and using signs of anti-constitutional organization. especially signs of the Nazi party. This development actually can lead to a negative public perception of the AfD, the party, which has been gaining electoral grounds in regions like Bavaria and Hesse. The AfD could potentially mobilize its base to carry out protests against the decision, particularly in Stuttgart city. We conveyed this to our clients via an EMEA advisory message today.
All right, thank you.
In Turkey, a pro-Palestine protest will be held outside the Incirlik air base in Adana today. The protest has been organized by Turkey's Islamic Relief Organization, the IHH, Humanitarian Relief Foundation. The base is a strategic asset for the US military, which is crucial for operations in the Middle East. A protest there against US support for Israel could strain the already complex relationship between Turkey and the US. We conveyed this to our clients also via an EMEA advisory message today.
Yes, let's keep track of the bilateral relationship between Turkey and the US. Despite Turkey's opposition to everything that what Israel does, they do have an active diplomatic relationship with the country. So that is a bit of a double speak. Wouldn't you agree, Bassel?
Yes, that's true, Bhargav. Also moving on to the Israel, here's an update on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insists on no ceasefire as casualties in the conflict increase. Around 8,300 Palestinians and 1,400 Israelis have been killed. Netanyahu maintains that Israel has to achieve the objective of the war, which is to get rid of Hamas. The IDF also struck Hezbollah munitions and arms depot in southern Lebanon earlier today. It also targeted some other positions of the militant group in southern Lebanon. Hamas fired rocket missiles toward Tel Aviv and central Israel last night. However, they were intercepted by Israel's Dome Shield. Israel has issued the highest level travel warning against travel to Dagestan in Russia. Israel's National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir has urged Israelis to arm themselves against threats. So disruptions to road, air, rail, and maritime travel, as well as power supplies, will persist in Israel and Palestinian territories. Such disruptions could also spill over the Eastern Mediterranean region, especially in neighboring countries such as Egypt. We also conveyed this to our clients in EMEA via an advisory message today.
All right, let's continue to support our clients in the region and keep them updated on major issues in the area as the war escalates in Gaza and the region.
Thank you, Bhargav and Uday. That's all from my end.
Thank you, Bassel.
Thanks,
Nothing
Bassel.
further from my end.